I'll have to do a better job. So I'll take your questions.
What's been the biggest issue with the slow starts early on both sides of the ball?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I think the bigger thing really has been, our inability to do a better job of getting them into third and longer situations. We're allowing too many first and second down conversions, not forcing enough, third downs early on in games. So struggled again with the quarterback today. We had some opportunities to get him on the ground. We didn't cash in on those opportunities. We had some guys that were, spying him, and he made some plays. So, but yeah, we look, we got to do a better job. Offensively, I thought we ran the ball early in the game pretty effectively. And then all of a sudden you're chasing points. It becomes a little bit more difficult to do. So I think just as a team, we've got to do a better job of, being more competitive in first halves of games. Our guys, fought their tails off to give themselves a chance, but can't keep digging yourself into these holes and think you're going to be able to come back all the time.
That's your goal. Say what happened with Derek.
He was evaluated for a concussion. I can't really talk about it or elaborate on it. That's
I was going to ask you about the right shoulder. Is that anything related to his last injury?
Yeah, we'll look at it. But he was out of the game because he was evaluated for a concussion. So
has he been able to do any testing on the shoulder because of the concussion, or is that?
Listen, I don't know all the answers to that. I think we'll see where he's at tomorrow.
Yeah, why do you think you guys respond so well? You get behind and then things kind of start flowing a little bit on both sides. Why do you think it's
I don't really know what the answer is to that. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know what the answer is to that. I'd like to think that we could, start a little faster, get the momentum going a little bit quicker. I do know our guys are, never feel like they're out of it. I do know that they're going to continue to fight and battle. But like I said, we can't keep digging ourselves into these holes, especially against a good football team. So.
And then what did James bring to the offense?
Look, I thought Jameis did some good things in the game. Got a couple of explosive plays. We were able to score a couple of touchdowns, a couple of two-point conversions. I thought there was some good things that he did in terms of in the passing game. It's obviously a tough situation to come into, when you're down that many points and the team really kind of knows that you're going to have to throw the ball. So I thought under all those circumstances, I thought he did a good job. I thought Chris and AT made some nice plays for him. There were probably a couple of opportunities that I thought that we might could have cashed in on, but I thought overall I was pleased with what he was able to do under those circumstances.
Was it enough to make you evaluate the position after the bye week as far as the starter?
Well, we'll see where Derek's at. I mean, I don't think we're. Well, I know we're not in a competition there. I thought Jameis did some good things, but Derek Carr's our starting quarterback.
Did Mike get hurt on that first hit?
Yes, yeah. He's got a knee injury.
What did TJ Hawkinson do, especially in the first half, that kind of gave you trouble?
Well, look, he's an exceptional route runner, and so he ran some good routes and got open. We struggled to be able to cover him today. I'll go back and look at the tape and see if there's some things that maybe we could have done differently, but he obviously was a major factor in the game. Yeah, it impacted some things that we were wanting to do. I thought A.T. Perry came in and performed well, but I think anytime you lose a guy of Mike's magnitude, it affects what you're doing.
Dennis, I know you talked about the slow starts defensively, but do you feel like overall the unit has progressed this season?
Not as good, not progressed or regressed.
Regressed.
Yeah, I don't think we're playing as well as we're capable of playing. So, yeah, I don't think we're playing as good as we're capable of playing. I think we need to play better.
As for Hawkinson doing like a lot of like zone beater stuff, or do you guys have man on?
No, I think he beat us in zone. He beat us in man. You know, he beat us on a few things.
Is there anything you can say about? Sorry, I know we're going down a list of injuries. Is there anything you can say about Lattimore? What happened to him?
He's got an ankle. So Mike Thomas, any issues really coming out of the game, you know, really is Mike, you know, with the knee and Lattimore with the ankle. And then obviously, you know, Carr, you know, is in the concussion protocol. Well, look, the focus for the players is to get away, get their minds off of football for just a little bit, kind of reset again, get their bodies healthy. So there's a lot of rehab that's going to be going on, you know, over this next week, try to get guys healthy and get back. And then us as coaches, we got to look at how we can put some better plans together to give our guys more opportunities to be successful.
Do you feel like it comes at a good time?
Yeah, look, I mean, you play a game like this, you kind of want to reset a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if it comes at a good time or not. You know, we'll evaluate, you know, kind of this tape and see what we can do better, and then we gotta get ready for Atlanta.
Can you live exceptions at the end of Jameis just because of the situation y'all are in, or do you want not to make those types of decisions?
Look, without seeing the whole thing, you know, I'll probably reserve judgment on that. You know, again, you know, when you're in those situations and you know, you're kind of in a little bit of desperation mode, you know, sometimes those things happen. So.
They've shown a lot of success with Case in the last few weeks, but only had one rush today. Was part of that getting down?
Yeah. I think when you get down like that so early in the game, it really limits a lot of things that you want to try to be able to accomplish in a game. And so, you know, we got to be better defensively of keeping the score down, you know, in the game, in the early part of the game, so we can have you know, what we have as our game plan going in offensively. You know, you kind of get out of it, you know, probably by the, you know, early part of the second quarter, just because you're now chasing points.
The sort of boost in production in the second half of the offensive side, did that come down more to execution, or did you all find something?
Yeah, I think probably, you know, just a little bit of both. You know, we had a couple of thoughts coming out of halftime of things that we liked, and you know, I thought our guys executed those things a little bit better, and you know, some of the tempo stuff again was pretty good for us.
And would you say similarly, like kind of both those things on the defensive side as well, or something scoring come down?
Yeah, I think that was a lot more about, you know, getting our eyes in the right spot and our execution more so than it was a kind of a change in philosophy or calls or whatever.
Do you have any comment about what happened with Mike on Friday night?
No. All right, guys, thanks.
Hey, don't let these. Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast, giving you all the State of the Saints podcast post-game show. HNSN Network. Download the HNSN app today. You'll be able to check out different sports shows, including the State of the Saints podcast that is on the air 12 noon every Wednesday. The New Orleans Saints lose to the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 27-19. The Saints fall to 5-5, 500 once again. As of right now, as we speak, the New Orleans Saints still hold control of the NFC South at 5-5. The Atlanta Falcons are playing the Arizona Cardinals as of right now. Don't have a score update for that. But the New Orleans Saints lose this football game. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a lot of questions, or people have a lot of things to say in regards to this game. And Who That Nation, I got to tell you, man, looking at this football team today, I'm going to be honest with you. I can see why at the beginning of the season, people got excited about this football team. I can see it because they got a lot of talented players on this team. And it's the unfortunate thing about it is that we seen a talent from these players from a guy that wasn't even our starting quarterback in Jameis Winston. We seen players making plays. We seen guys that were out there, doing things and being the athletes that they are. And we had absolutely no idea what these guys' capabilities were if you actually watched them throughout the season. I think I owe Chris Olave an apology. I got to be honest. I think I owe Chris Olave an apology because I'm thinking him stopping on the routes, even though I'm not for calling on that. But maybe the guy was just so frustrated that he wasn't getting opportunity to make plays that he started to feel like walking up the field, because Chris Olave looked like a completely different football player when Jameis Winston was the quarterback. Hell, we even had Lynn Bowden, you know what I'm saying? Like, even he caught a pass, and A.T. Perry caught a touchdown. Now, for all those people that don't know football and just want to try to find reasons to criticize Jameis Winston, and they will take it any way they want, let me put this into perspective for all of you haters out there that just, for some apparent reason, just don't like the dude, and no matter what he does, just gonna always put the blame at his feet. Imagine you. Let's put you in this position. Imagine you are the backup quarterback, which means at practice you get little to no at all. For the most part, you're actually being the opposition. You're not getting any starting reps. You're basically getting mental reps because your starting quarterback is getting all the reps. And then you go into a game and you're standing on the sidelines with a Microsoft Pro tablet throughout the entire game. You're not throwing the football. You're not moving around. You're sitting on a bench. All right. All of a sudden, the starting quarterback gets hurt and they tell you to get into the game, get your helmet and go out there. Cold. Didn't practice at all with the first team. Down 27-3 late in the third quarter. And they're telling you into the and make some magic. Keep in mind, the score was 27-3 when he entered the game. And the Saints lost today by 8 points. Now, some of you will probably look at this glass half empty. Some of you will look at it glass half full. But I am going to go out on a limb and say this. Derek Carr wasn't doing what Jameis Winston did in the second half. He just wasn't. Because Derek Carr is the type of quarterback that is all about self-preservation. Allow me to elaborate. Derek Carr is the type of quarterback that will choose a check down, not because it's the best decision, but it's because it's a completion. And we all know that a completion adds to your statistics. So when you're having arguments about is he a good quarterback or not, you can use the stats to validate him being good. He's not going to take chances like Jameis Winston did. And some people will probably say to themselves, well, the wide receivers bailed them out. He bailed them out. That game was 27-3. It was desperation time. If you're looking for a conservative, check that 0-7 to nothing in the first quarter. Well, that's what bothers me about some from sports fans out there. They are so biased in their own opinions that they're willing to move the goalposts or willing to illustrate whatever makes them feel comfortable in their validation about someone. Jameis Winston came into a game 27-3. And this man threw 2 touchdowns to guys that are capable of making plays. Oh, the receivers bailed him out. He gave them an opportunity to make plays. This game would have been turn your damn TV off type material if Derek Carr would have continued to play in this game. Did y'all not see this dude held on to the ball about as long as my grandparents been married? They've been married for 60 years, by the way. He held on to the ball for 60 years and still couldn't get the ball down the field and fumbled the football in the process. And yet, y'all really honestly sitting up here talking about Jameis Winston throwing 2 interceptions. If that is the focal point, then you need to do some real soul searching, because this game was an embarrassment upon this dude coming into the game. The Saints have a lot of talented players, and I'm not saying that Jameis Winston is the answer, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they need a quarterback that can be able to bring that talent out of Chris Olave, to bring that talent out of A.T. Perry and Lynn Bowden. Like, I don't care what y'all say. Look at them dudes on the sidelines when they was making plays. Look at the energy that Chris Olave was out there playing with when Jameis came into the game, which makes me say to each and every one of you that your opinions about what y'all may think are irrelevant. If you played the game of football, I'm talking to the people out there that, that actually played. Rather you played high school, college, the professionals, and you're watching this right now. We all know when you see somebody that is out there that's going to sling that thing, if you're a wide receiver or a running back or a guy that can make some plays, you start to perk up a little bit. So for all those people out there that's living in a stone age, who's probably just okay with check down Charlie, that is Derek Carr, I don't need to validate this. I'm not going to talk about stats or anything like that anymore. Go back and watch that game when Jameis Winston came into the game and he started throwing that ball down the field. Watch the sidelines, watch Michael Thomas, watch all them offensive players, watch the offense, and tell me that them dudes didn't feel like they had what it takes. Like Chris Olave looked like he morphed into a completely different person. It was the laxest days ago, Chris Olave. And also keep in mind, folks, before Jameis Winston came into the game, can I interest you in 0 targets, 0 yards, and 0 catches for the guy that is supposed to be your number one guy, especially since Michael Thomas left the game early with an ankle injury. So for all those people out there that's probably about to get ready, set, and go, putting those comments down in the chat, all the people that's getting ready to fix their lips when I open up the phone lines to talk about, well, I don't think you the answer. 27-3 was the score when this dude got into the game. What did you all expect this man to do? Like, well, honestly, you can put like one of the best quarterbacks in the game, in this situation, and more than likely the outcome would have been the same. It's just that plain and simple. But back to the game at hand. Some of you, this is going to sound like a broken record. Some of this is going to sound new to some of you because you just got 38 people watching this right now. Correction, 540. Please hit the like button and please subscribe. I'm about to be on my soapbox for a minute, so sit back and relax. I mentioned this at halftime. I said that the New Orleans Saints won't win a damn thing as long as Dennis Allen is the head coach. When some of you are going to get that through your head, I have absolutely no freaking idea. You have people out here that feel like their love for the team is conjoined with the fact that I gotta love Dennis Allen. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because I don't love Dennis Allen. I respect him as a human being, as a man, as a defensive mind, but I don't love Dennis Allen because Dennis Allen is a loser as a head coach. You're not going to win anything with him, no matter how you want to shape it, no matter how you want to Rubik's Cube your mind to believe that Dennis Allen can take the Saints anywhere. I mean, honestly, Dennis Allen couldn't take the Saints up the street in a truck. You're going to continue to have the same mixed bag, Who Dat Nation? The same freaking mixed bag. You're going to have win one, lose one. You're going to have the roller coaster ride that you can't put down as long as Dennis Allen is the coach. And no, this isn't like those roller coaster rides that ends in excitement, because some of you probably knew during the days of 07, 08 when the Saints had a high-powered offense, but they couldn't stop a nosebleed. Hell, more recently, 2016. It was exciting, but it was frustrating because at the same time, you knew for a fact that the Saints had what it took to win football games. But the stubbornness of Sean Payton refusing to go out and get credible defensive coordinators and sticking around with his friends, does that sound familiar? Caused the Saints the prime of Drew Brees' career. And then when they finally decided that they wanted to move on, bring back in Dennis Allen, switch out all them old cats like Lombardi and Joe Vitt and all them other cats, that's when the Saints defense started to form and be really good, but you didn't have the quarterback. You didn't have the quarterback. You didn't have Drew Brees in his prime. You had Twilight Drew Brees that couldn't get the ball down the field. Tell me if this don't look familiar. Right now, the Saints are sitting on their hands and hoping that Dennis Allen can turn the corner without them making really hard decisions to save their team. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, I can't even blame them. The dudes out there doing the best that they can. But while you're sitting on your hands, these dudes are getting old. The guys that can make plays like a Debo and Alontae Taylor, guess what? You're going to have to make a decision in a couple years if you're going to be lingering around with Dennis Allen and thinking, oh, man, we're competitive. That's going to get the crowd going. No, it's not. Yeah, you'll probably have some people out there that have their loyalty conjoined to the fact that I show up to the games. I'm a real Saints fan. You not. You'll have a couple of those. But the Saints fan that logically, like myself and plenty of you in the chat, will understand that we don't have to subject ourselves to this nonsense. And we understand that this team is good. And the only thing that is holding this team back is Dennis Allen and his passive-aggressive, non-head coaching ass. We know if you get a competent coach with this talent, it was shown today. Look no further than when Jameis Winston came into the game, and I'm not saying this because I'm lobbying for Jameis Winston to be a starter. But what I'm saying is you get yourself a competent quarterback that is not check down Charlie, that is not so concerned about his stats. And I don't care what you say, is a Homelander type individual that will say and do anything to get people on his side to make people say, damn, that's a really good guy. This guy cares about what people think about him, and that is a recipe for disaster as a starting quarterback. Yeah, he can do some things, but you're not winning nothing. When the Saints go out here, get rid of Dennis Allen, get themselves a quarterback, take a chance, and go out here and get a quarterback that can sling that thing down the field with accuracy and precision and move around like, I can't believe I'm about to say this, Josh freaking Dobbs, a guy who's been on about 5 teams. Let him move around a little bit like that. Then you, Who Dat Nation, you will have a team that you can be proud of, a team that you can be proud to say Who Dat. Look forward to cooking your favorite meal at 12 noon or 1 Eastern, wherever you're staying at, sitting on the couch and yourself, because you know for a fact that your team is about to put it all on the line and they are going to come away with the victory. but you're not going to get that with Dennis Allen. You're just not. You're just not, folks. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. I want to say thank you to Cam. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. Says been watching for years, and I really love to call in. I just don't know how. LOL. Any help? I definitely would love to say some things. Well, we're about to open up the phone lines right now. The link goes into the chat. People hit the link, call into the show. All right. But let me read some of these comments before I open up the chat, because I know once I open up the line, the chat might get neglected a little bit. I don't want to neglect y'all because I love y'all. Said that is not excusable. Sound like a contrarian in the chat here. At the end of the day, like what are you asking for? Let's put you in the game. Can you come back from 27-3 deficit? I'm just wondering. I'm just joking with you. But seriously, man, you can't like blame this guy for coming in a game 27-3. Like the game was insurmountable at this particular point. What do you all expect? Like, man, stop watching these Disney movies. Y'all watching Disney movies. All of a sudden, like the guy that everybody just kind of counted out comes into the game and facilitates a comeback. Like, stop watching these Disney movies. These are professionals. They're professionals. The Minnesota Vikings are a good football team, and you gave them a 27-3 lead. Like, this ain't the Falcons we're talking about here, where no lead is safe. Actually got competent coaches that can hold on to a lead. I'm just saying. Like, what do we expect? Like, come on, man. Like, are we allowing this guy to be such low-hanging fruit that we're going to take it any way we want? Nobody's saying the good dude should be a starting quarterback, but what I'm saying is the dude make this game interesting. And honestly, I can make an argument. This was the most exciting New Orleans Saints game this season. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Even though they lost, tell me this wasn't the most exciting on the edge of your seat game that you season long in a loss. So honestly, I would take knowing that Chris Olave can ball his ass off. But we know why the Saints aren't good. We know why they're not winning games. It's because of the coach. It's not because of the players. This was the most exciting football game the Saints have played all season long. Yeah, they won some games with the Tennessee Titans and, Rashid Shaheed caught a pass behind the defense. Yeah, that's great. But throughout the entire game, it has been absolute snooze fest throughout all these Saints games. This was by far the most exciting New Orleans Saints game of the season and a loss. And I look, at least I know that we actually have some wide receivers and the Saints got a damn future. Like before this, we up here, like seriously, before this game, we were hypercritical about this wide receiver room, hypercritical about some of these players. I mean, obviously, this game showed me that if you put a competent quarterback that is willing to take a chance, that is a team guy that can go out there and not worried about self-preservation. They go out here and win the football game. Not self-preservation like going out there lowering the shoulder, but I'm talking about caring more about getting guys involved more so than looking at my stats and trying to prove the Raiders wrong, because that's what you're doing. That's what's been going on. That's what's been going on the entire season. Derek Carr's aggression on the sidelines, Derek Carr pouting on the sidelines, Derek Carr getting mad at Chris Olave, all stems from the fact that the Raiders let him go. They said that you're not good enough to lead us anywhere, and he's trying to prove it. And now he wants to sit up here and get mad. And he stat pats to validate the Raiders' bad decision. May be purgatory over there, but one thing I feel like they did get right, and that's letting that dude go right there, because the dude is thin freaking skin. You can't fake the funk with me. You can't fake the funk with me. Maybe some of y'all, oh, he walked up to me and he shook my hand. What a great guy. What a great person. Don't y'all ever talk about him ever again. Boy, if that's all it takes for y'all to sit up here and lobby for a guy being a quarterback, Lord have mercy. What are we doing? They got a lot of great people out there. But at the end of the day, they ain't about to lead your team nowhere. They ain't about to lead your team nowhere. Some of y'all just fall for the old okie doke. Oh, he looked at me. He signed my towel. He signed my jersey. Oh, what a great guy. I don't care. He might be the greatest guy to ever live. But when it comes to the game, that boy fold up like a cheap freaking tent in clutch situations. The Saints would have got their asses handed to them for real if Derek Carr would have stayed in the game. And there's not a person on the chat that can prove otherwise for me. Well, TJ, why are you up here bashing our guy? He's our guy. Well, he's not very good. He's not very good. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's see. 6-5 says we took a L, but Jameis, for all his faults, is willing to take a chance, and that's what got us back in the game. But no, I don't hate Carr. Look, I don't hate Carr either. He's just not very good in certain situations. I feel like, like if the game is under control and, I mean, everything just going smoothly or something like that, playing on autopilot, he good, right? But all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you got to fly that plane yourself, get a little nervous, get all shaken up. And don't get it twisted. I will give him some credit at decisions he made over the last 2 games with a 2-game winning streak. But we all know who the real MVP was of that 2-game winning streak, and it was not Derek Carr. It was Taysom freaking Hill. Taysom freaking Hill. We know it. I know it, and you know it. So I mean, it's just, man, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing? This game wouldn't have been nowhere near close because Derek Carr would not have made took those chances because he would have been thinking about those interceptions. And the thing about it is, like I said, from what I'm seeing, he cares more about what his stats look like more so than what the final score looks like. Or maybe he does care about what the final score look like, but he's not willing to sacrifice his stats to try to, do anything about it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't care. Like that, like you're not about to tell me that you got a lot of guys out there that be stat padding, not really making plays, not really going out there like putting their best foot forward. I'm good on that. Like you ain't winning nothing with that. You ain't winning nothing. Says TJ, what do you think about the Drew Brees video? I didn't even see the Drew Brees video. I guess we were talking about him evaluating Derek Carr. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. In all honesty, I don't, as much respect to Drew, I don't need him to like Carr for him to tell me anything that I already feel about Derek Carr. Look, you can evaluate this dude till you blue in the face. Stu is not a winner, and you ain't winning nothing with him. Florio Ashcar. Well, yeah, I know he's not a real big fan of Derek Carr. Let me see. Let's go to Money Mick. Mick, how you doing, man? Mick, can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on, good brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What you got for it?
All right, man. I need 60 seconds of your time, man. I just got a few good points to hit on, and I'll be out the way for the next caller, man.
All right. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Hey, man. So, number one, man, it feels good to watch the Saints games, and I think most Saints fans, if you take your emotion out of it and know what this team is, then you won't get, how can I say this without sounding too bad? You won't get your heart hurt so much. The Saints are a 500 team. That's who they are. That's who they are this season. I still root for them. I watched this game all the way through, the ups and downs. But at the end of the day, I know if they go on a 3-game winning streak, that eventually they're not going to be pretty much, in the thick of things towards the end. They might make it interesting this season, but even if they make the playoffs, I see them getting bounced out the first round. That's who they are under DA's leadership. And that's just what you can kind of expect, to be honest with you. But it's fun to watch as a fan, But I do want to read some stats off for you real quick to put this Derek Carr thing to bed.
All right.
QB number 1, okay, has 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, okay. QB number 2 has 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. One of these QBs costs $150 million, and the other one also plays in our division as a division rival. You want to guess which one is who?
I would assume that the first one is Baker Mayfield is one, and Derek Carr is the other, right? Can you hear me? Mick, are you there? All right, we're gonna put Mick on hold. I think Mick having a little bit of some technical issues right there. We're gonna move on to Barbara. Barbara, how you doing? Barbara, can you hear me?
There I am.
Yeah. Right.
Hi, DJ.
Hey, how you doing? Are you there? All right, we're gonna have to move on. Let's go to Prime. Prime, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. You got me?
Yeah. What you got for us?
What I got is 2-3 minutes of your time. Number
Okay.
one, to all those people that's trying to blame this on Jameis, this is not Jameis' fault. Like you said, you made some valid points about you being the backup quarterback and you not getting practice with the first teamers. You just watching and mentally going through the game. That's not the same thing. Number two, what the NFL likes to call park ball, that's the kind of offense the Saints need. Like we used look, I never played football for any schools or anything, but I used to play on Sundays out there in Alderman Park. And when we used to be out there playing ball, and I used to be quarterbacking, I would always look for the person that was open, turning down the field if I have to.
All right.
And people want to talk about James. Look, Jameis is a better option than Carr. Carr is $150 man. Mistake. I told y'all when they first got him, he was going to be Kent Stabler 2.0. He's just as bad and inconsistent as his brother David Carr was. So let's get over it, people. Stop blaming Jameis. For all you Jameis haters, y'all probably don't know a damn thing about organized football or football, period. I don't know, for some reason, like you say, brother, it's like they have a personal agenda against this boy. This boy has never done anybody anything.
Prime, hold that thought real quick. I want to give a special shout out to a good friend of the show, Stanford Rhett from ESPN. Since a lot of people out here, Prime, they like to get people that got some level of credibility. This is what he said on X. He says, I still say Winston gets the first team reps during the bye week and gets the ball the rest of the way with Taysom getting some snaps too. I'd rather the Saints go down swinging than prodding along with no life or no spark. That came from Stanford Rhett from ESPN. A respectable individual and a New Orleans native. But go ahead, Prime. Finish up, man.
Look. I agree. I agree with him 110%. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. You see, I didn't hear about this one until the end of BQ show yesterday. So we don't have 2 wide receivers arrested in 2 weeks. That's a telling sign that the receivers have no respect for this man that you paid $150 million for, because they know he's not going to get them consistently the ball. And yeah, Jameis was throwing the ball downfield, and people say a hero ball. No, they put him in, and they wanted him to throw the ball deep because they didn't even play chase him, didn't even run the ball.
Right.
And my thing is, even on the sideline, you can see the energy was changing. The energy was changing on the sideline. They like playing with this guy because he's down to earth. I'm not saying he's the future, but I would rather see him as the starting quarterback, and the Saints go draft a young quarterback that will play quote unquote park ball, run around the field when the play breaks down. Because you got all this speedy receiver. Like somebody made a point during Q show. Derek Carr is always good for 2 good passes a game. That is so true. 2 good passes a game. Man, the ball, the velocity that James was throwing that ball across the field, especially on that second touchdown, man, he was throwing the ball up high. He was throwing the ball up to a person that's 6'5", that should be able to go up and jump to it, and not throwing it to a person like Shaheed. How tall Shaheed is? Like 5'2", 5'4"?
Man, I mean, he about 6 feet, 6'1". He not like real short. I mean, he kind of plays like the small guy game, but he's pretty a pretty average size for a wide receiver.
But the point I'm trying to make is,
I get what you're saying. Like putting the ball in the hands of the playmakers, utilizing the strengths of them, like A.T. Perry being 6'5". I mean, we even seen We even seen with Jimmy Graham in preseason, like he threw that ball up to Jimmy Graham on the goal line. So he utilizing the guys and respecting their playmaking abilities.
Exactly. And you see on that one play that he played true to Shaheed, I think Shaheed didn't first of all, Shaheed and all the rest of the receiver corps are used to having to slow down with Derek Carr throwing the ball down the field deep, even when he had a good shoulder.
Right.
So that was surprising. That ball got on him, and he was like, "Oh Lord, wait a minute!"
Yeah.
And even the second one he threw down Olave kind of slowed down a little bit on that one. But look, I agree with you what you're saying, my brother. We're not saying that Jameis is a savior, but I think the Saints have a better chance of doing good with Jameis at quarterback, and you get a young quarterback. I bet you a lot of these people are not young enough to remember the Bobby Scotts, the Bobby Douglases, the Danny Warples, or Snake Stabler, or John Forcade, or Bobby Abel. When John Forcade and Bobby Abel was slinging the ball around, I bet you there's some of these same people that's bitching about Jameis throwing the ball around the field. They didn't say crap when them boys was doing it.
Yeah, I agree with your prime, but I mean, we got a crazy amount of phone calls we got to get to, man. But I appreciate the call and look forward to talking to you again, man.
Appreciate that, man. Keep up a good job and be a positive image influence for the young brothers under you.
All right, man. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Prime, man. I mean, look, we all know that Jameis Winston is talented. That goes without saying. I don't think that he is the future of the New Orleans Saints. Don't get me wrong, but I think he did show us, if you want to pay attention to it, that the Saints got a lot more playmakers and untapped potential than we even imagine. And I posted it on X. I said I think it's pretty safe to say that it was Derek Carr the whole damn time, while Chris Olave has been a mere shell of himself, because this dude looked like a different person coming into the game. And I think that that's something that you just cannot dispute. But we're gonna go to Barbara. Barbara, how you doing? Barbara, can you hear me? I think you're on mute. Barbara. You press the mute button. I think you put yourself on mute. Let me see. I think you're on mute.
Better?
I can hear you now.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What you got for us?
Dang, I don't know what's the matter.
Nah, it's okay. We can hear you now. Well, now you're on mute again. I think you just press the mute button. Maybe I think you probably tapping like the mute button, and it's causing your microphone to mute. All right. Well, Barbara, I'm gonna come back to you, because I think we had a little issue with your microphone. Well, we'll come back to you. You stay there. Cam, how you doing?
Can you hear me, TJ?
Yeah, I can hear you, Cam. What you got for us, man?
Hey, man, I really appreciate you taking my call. I've been a fan since about 2018, and you're about one of the only Saints talking heads, I guess, that I watch consistently. So I really appreciate the work you do.
No, I appreciate you, man. That means a lot, man. And thank you so much.
Yeah, you keep it real, and I really, I like that. I don't like any of the guys who try to make it all about quarterbacks. That drives me crazy. And you kind of don't do that. You kind of see a bigger picture. So I'll try to make it quick, I guess, so we can get everybody else in here and get it moving. But I'm going to try to focus on one thing that's really bugging me more than anything else, more than Dennis Allen, more than Pete Carmichael, although I think both of them got to get out of here. I lost faith in them last year, but I'm completely over it now. Like, it's an absolute joke. They coach scared. They coach lame. No energy really out of either of them. And I think as an organization, I don't know if we're going to have the backbone to get them out. So, but that's just my opinion. Derek Carr, I was high on him going into the season, but this game absolutely did it for me. I've been watching film on Carr, right. And it's the same problems that he had with the Raiders, the exact same problem, right. Almost to a T. It seems like you hit on it earlier. but it seems like he literally only cares about his stats, his body. He wants to be the guy that's going to go out on the field and yell at the guys and act like he's commanding the offense and da-da-da-da-da. But he's going to take the check down every time so he doesn't get hit. He just plays scared. And when Jameis goes out there, he's putting his body on the line. He's coming out there. He's throwing do. And the team's going to rally behind that. A guy who's going to come. I mean, he was dancing on crutches. What was that, last year where he's dancing on crutches in the locker room?
Right. Year before last year when he tore his ACL. Yep.
Yeah. And I just feel like Dennis Allen's going to do anything for his guy that he brought in, and he's going to defend his guy over and over and over. But your guy, Derek Carr, plays scared. If you watch some of the plays today that drove me absolutely insane, Shaheed is open 10 times in the first half. Shaheed is wide open.
Yep.
And Derek Carr is going to always take the under. He's always going to take the check down because he doesn't want to risk making his stats look bad. He doesn't want to throw an interception. He doesn't want to take a hit. And I'm over it, man. Like, we're not in a position in this season to be dealing with that. We're in a position this season where we got to win this game going into the bye week. And now we're at 500, and you're going off the bye week into a game against the Falcons that's going to literally determine the season, honestly, probably. And now you just lost all wins. And it's like, well, what the hell did you expect Jameis to do? Like, good on him for coming out and throwing the football and just trying to make something happen. And I've been a long-time fan. I mean, I'm only 20, so I really only know the winning years, but my family's all Saints fans. So man.
Look, I mean, I echo your sentiments, man. I mean, look, I try to keep it as real as I can. But I mean, you know, the fandom in me does frustrate me. And I agree with you. You know, like I do definitely agree with what you're saying. And like I say, hopefully, man, they can figure it out during the bye week. But Cam, I gotta take some more calls. But personally, man, thank you so much for your support and checking out the podcast. And hopefully, this won't be your last time, man. Call back anytime when you get a chance to. Would like to hear your perspective as the season goes on, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Talk to you soon. Thank you, TJ.
All right, thank you. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Cam, man, and thank y'all, man. All the people out there. There's so many people that reach out and they say, you know, they watch the podcast, they never call in, but they support. And man, thank y'all so much. Like that means a lot to me. It really does. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on to King Arthur. King Arthur, how you doing, man?
What's up, homie?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. What you think about today?
Brother, don't do that, TJ. See, you trying to rile me up, bro.
Hey, I mean, look, King Arthur, I already said, this is like one of those relationships where all the love is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like we need some serious therapy in order for us to fix this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, the spark ain't there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the fact that I'm upset. I'm not upset. It's just the fact that at this particular point, you're wondering to yourself, are you surprised? I guess and so I'm kind of like even keel right now. But what you got there, King?
So let me ask you this, TJ. There was a therapist, man. She was talking about the nature of a man, and she was like, whenever a man feels, we experience love via respect. So if you respect us, we feel like you love us. So if a man is in a situation where he's not experiencing respect, he's not going to feel loved, and you're going to get a version of that man that's just going through the motions, i.e. a shell of himself, like you were saying about Chris Olave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get that version of that man, and that's not going to be a person who you really want to be around because he's just trying to survive. He's not thriving. Like a man who's undisciplined and getting into trouble, i.e. these arrests that you're starting to see. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it just makes you wonder, bro. TJ, you've been on football teams. Growing up in New Orleans, you know what it's like to be in a neighborhood where there's so much camaraderie that you would dang near go fight another neighborhood for that neighborhood, for your neighborhood. You hear me? Yep. So it begs the question, bro, what is going on that sideline to make these dudes feel so dejected from this team?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why are they so detached? And it takes for a backup quarterback who we all know, to me, it's just my personal opinion, this dude got just as much, if not more arm talent than Carr.
Yep.
But my only issue has ever been with Jameis is that bro, you don't have to go. You don't have to go for the gusto every single play. Like you had A.T. Perry on that second interception. You had A.T. Perry 20 yards down the field by himself.
On a drag route. Yep.
Yeah, come across the field. Like take what the defense is giving you. Outside of that, I have no issues with Jameis. Ain't none of this is on him because dude was doing well with what he had, what circumstances he had. So you could tell in the chat who know football and who don't. But I'm concerned, bro. Like I'm really concerned about the morale on this team because it ain't never been like this before.
Well, I gotta put this in there. I gotta put this in there because I wanted to get you a chance to elaborate. Cajun Boy says y'all blaming Carr for other arrests. I guess Olave's arrest is crazy. So I know that's not what you're doing, but everybody, can interpret things to certain ways. So
at this point, it's normal, not TJ.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Look, what King Arthur was saying was the pressures of what he had going into the season and the expectations he had on himself. It wasn't really panning out. So it did cause him some type of mental anguish being in his head, not being on the same page. And it could cause him to make, certain type of decisions. Not saying that, oh, Derek Carr sucks. Let me go out here, ride my car and drive 70 miles per hour in a 40. No, that's not what he's saying, man. He's saying that it can affect you psychologically when you have like certain talent, certain ability, and it's not happening for you. That was the whole point. But go ahead, man. Finish up.
Like at this point, TJ, like you've been doing this long enough, man. We done hopped on this phone long enough and so many times to the point where at some point you just realize some people in the chat, they have their own narratives that they want to try to fit you into regardless of what you say. It's called taking things out of context. And we don't do that over here at the State of the Saints. So for all y'all who got something to say about us holding players accountable or about us calling out the different situations and issues we have with the team, y'all trying to spin a narrative that we not real fans or something like that. Let me tell y'all something. Most of y'all ain't become fans of the Saints until after 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been here when the bags was on fans' heads. So don't come trying to tell us what we trying to say when we're being very clear and direct with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's an issue with morale on this team. Right. Nobody said it was Derek Carr's fault that Chris Olave got arrested. Nobody said it was Derek Carr's fault that Mike Thomas threw a brick at somebody's window because they wouldn't get it from in front of his house. Nobody said that. All we said is when you have a leader and that leader is not connecting the team like they're supposed to, it can cause guys to become dejected and disinterested because they have a lot of abilities and not being able to showcase it because of whatever reason that is. And that starts from the top down. Dennis Allen is not the answer. Derek Carr may not be the answer. That's all we were saying. But I'm not explaining myself to these people no more, bro. Like the real ones need to do this, dog.
Yeah, I find it funny, man. Like when people say stuff like, "Oh, you ain't no real Saints fan," I'm like, I don't even try to validate that, because a lot of people they can't like comprehend or can't fathom the fact how you can appreciate or have love for something and be critical of it. Like they can't, like they kind of like throw it all away, so to speak. So if you're talking bad about it, I mean you don't like them more. Like, man, it's funny to me at this particular point because look, my whole life I've been a Saints fan. Like before, some of y'all, like when I be talking about games being blacked out and only can listen to them on the radio, y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Because y'all grew up during the time with Sunday Ticket, and no matter if you had 300 fans in the crowd, they still gonna show it on TV. So hey, it is what it is, man. But hey, you got anything else before you go, man?
Yeah,
I'm calls to get to.
I got you. The last thing I'm gonna say, big dog, is the fact that we 5-5 is a travesty. It's a travesty, bro, considering the schedule and the amount of adversity other teams that we playing against is going through. Man, it's a travesty, bro. This ain't nothing but incompetence, and I don't think it's gonna change the rest of the year. If we manage to win 4 more games, I would be surprised, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna let you go, TJ. It's still who that, but we ain't doing nothing until we remove the top of the snake, bro.
Pretty much, man. But thank you so much, Keith Arthur, man. Appreciate the call. Call back anytime, man.
Appreciate you, homie.
All right, yeah, man. Look, you can't question my fandom. Like you can't question my fandom, and I just feel like if that means that you can't criticize the team. Then it is what it is. Like, but at the end of the day, I don't see this situation changing. I really don't. I don't see the situation changing until they. You can pretend and all you want to, but that's just the reality. We're gonna go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing, man? Jerry, are you there?
Hey, what's up, TJ? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Appreciate the call, man. Tough game today, but
yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, man?
Well, TJ, Who That Nation, I just want to say this. I just did a short on my channel. If y'all haven't checked it out, my message to the entire Who That Nation. I said, and I guess I'll share it with y'all live here on the State of the Saints podcast with TJ Jones. Just be thankful and praise the good Lord above that we are 5-5 and not 0-10. Because if we were 0-10, TJ, Who That Nation, there was going to be a lot of Q&A going on every week about this. So I'm satisfied being 5-5 and not being 0-10. And this is the bye week, and this is the perfect time to get healthy, because in 2 weeks we go to Atlanta and face the Falcons, and they're currently facing the Cardinals as we speak. So we got 2 weeks before we go to Atlanta on Thanksgiving weekend. And 2 weeks from today.
Yep. Well, Jerry, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is one of those situations where you just feel gypped as a Saints fan. Like, I mean, when you look at like all of the stars being aligned for the Saints, rather it's them being able to get some guys that are competent, young players emerging, like Paulson Adebo, like Chris Olave going into the season. You don't really have any significant injuries and everything around you. Like, just think about this. Like, this is what's going on with the New Orleans Saints. And I don't want anybody to make me think that I don't want anybody. Let me clear this up, because I want to make sure I don't want people to feel like I'm being insensitive. But what's going on with the New Orleans Saints is equivalent to you being in a house and an F5 tornado comes through and wrecks everybody's house but yours. And your house is the only one standing in the neighborhood. That is what the season for the New Orleans Saints is equivalent to. You had Daniel Jones, who's going to be out for the season. Kirk Cousins, who's going to be out for the season. Desmond Ridder just got benched. Bryce Young looking like, looking questionable. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though they won today, going back to reality. All of these things around you, all of the things working in your favor, and they can't capitalize. And honestly, I think I can kind of speak like Jared is going to sound crazy too.
Go ahead.
But I'd rather be 0-10. I'd rather be 0-10 and have zero expectations about what my team actually is than a team with so much promise, with a team with so much ability. And we saw that in the second half, and them not being able to live up to it. If the Saints had, like, as much as people hate Sean Payton right now for other reasons, if Sean Payton was the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, the Saints probably would have 1 or 2 losses on the schedule right freaking now. Because I even believe, like, even with that, even them playing Tampa, they wouldn't have looked as pedestrian as they did. You know it, and I know it. It all comes down to the coaching and the inability to be able to get the best out of these players, man. So it's rough, man. Like,
I know what you mean, TJ. I know what you mean, TJ. I know exactly what you mean, man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's my whole point. Like, don't get me wrong. They 5-5. They still winning the division. Like I said, I don't know what the score is. Anybody got the score of that Arizona Atlanta game? Because I don't know what the score is at this point. But all I'm saying is, you still, for the most part, control your own destiny. But at the same time, are we comfortable at the fact that we got this 16-year-old kid that is the New Orleans Saints driving this luxurious Ferrari? Do we expect for them to be able to keep this thing?
Hey, dude, TJ,
keep it on the road, dude. Can we? No, we cannot. No,
Look,
we cannot, man.
Look, hey, look, shouts out to my guy T Dirty when he said it best. If a car, we should have bought a scooter.
Man, I wouldn't even try to. Hey, I wouldn't even try. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even trying to put a pun on that. But I'm just saying, like, that's what the Saints are. The Saints are that 16-year-old kid who got that Ferrari, and they're like, drive safe. Like, seriously, I'm about to push this thing to 100, and there's a chance I might hit the wall, man. For real. Yeah, it's pretty bad there.
That's
pretty
bad, man. You see, TJ, this is why. Look, even the Saints, either the Saints win or lose, sometimes you just gotta laugh it out. Who that nation? We just gotta laugh it out, and it just because y'all heard a preacher that say laughter is like medicine. It's like it's good for the soul. Sometimes you got to come in here whether the Saints lose or whether they win or lost a heartbreaker or a miracle win. Sometimes that's the thing about the Who Dat Nation. That's why I love the New Orleans Saints so much and the Who Dat Nation, TJ. And you know it as well as I know. We are one big family, whether we win, whether we lose, whether we have a good game or have a bad game, or we be happy or sad, mad or glad. We are in this thing together as a family. And that's why I love y'all so much. Like you, TJ. I love my entire Who Dat Nation. I told them before, I said, I wouldn't trade them for nobody. Nobody. Whether we have a good season or we have a bad season, I would not trade y'all for nobody.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, man. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad sometimes. Sometimes, you know, people might disagree, but at the end of the day, we all Saints fans at the end of the day.
That's right.
But Jerry, I got a few more calls to get to, man. But like always, it's always a pleasure to chime in with the OG and call back anytime, man. Appreciate that.
We'll do, TJ. You have yourself a blessed week, and everybody have a blessed week. We got 2 weeks until we play Atlanta, so let's enjoy it. I love y'all, and ain't nothing y'all can do about it. And that's all I got, TJ.
Yeah, appreciate that, Jerry, man. You take care, man.
You too, bro. Be blessed.
All right, you too.
All right.
Yeah, man, look, I can understand the optimism and shouts out to Jerry because, I mean, that's who Jerry is. Jerry is a glass half full type guy. And, you know, you need that type of energy. But damn, man, this team is like really, causing just headaches and frustration. And it's just like, man, why in the world y'all just can't get it right? Y'all got all this talent and still can't win. My goodness. But let's go ahead. We're going to move on to Money Mick. My bad. I muted Money Mick by mistake. My apologies. Mick, how you doing, man?
All right. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What you got for us, man?
Man, sorry about that, man. I must have been connected to the Boost Mobile Wi-Fi earlier.
Nah, it's all good, man. what you got?
All right. Let me go quick and be out of here, man. Earlier, I was reading off some stats. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I want to read something off for you, okay? One QB in the NFC South has 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. The other one has 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Okay, you want to guess who's who?
I want to say Baker Mayfield has the 12 and Derek Carr has the 10, right?
You are correct, sir. But one of them cost $150 million, though. One of them cost $150 million. And if they would have been in this game, the Saints would have got the brakes beat off of them. So for anybody that, you know, they are dying on the Derek Carr sword. Like you can't talk about Derek Carr at all. But what I wanted to say was this, man. I think, you know, it was really good to see Jameis at least come in and try to fight and give the team a pulse. I do agree that you seen those players play harder. It seemed like everybody had to go harder when Jameis was there. And I really think it's a kind of a character issue, too, with Derek Carr. Like, when he threw people under the bus, like, people really don't fool with him like that as much as we might think that they might do. It's just we have the right leaders in the room to, you know, to just, hey, let's just try to be professional and go out and do things. But I really think most of the Saints players, man, don't fool with that guy the way that we would like.
I agree.
But,
like you can tell that in like the Alvin Kamara interview. Like after that game, he was like, you know, sometimes he was like, when I speak, he said I try to, you know, kind of pick my points or whatever. It's like so my words can have validity, you know, and not just me just talking all the time. He said because if you keep talking, He said then it goes on deaf ears. I don't care what anybody says. He was directing that towards Derek Carr. Because who talks
Yeah.
more than Derek Carr? I
Right.
don't know a person on the Saints team that talks more than he does.
Man, Derek Carr is still stuck in the Raiders days, man. We've seen so many times in the offseason that this dude, nobody even asked him about the Raiders, and he would bring up the Raiders. Like, what I'm saying is he doesn't have the mindset. And, and I think most guys are not motivated to play with him. I noticed immediately when Jameis came in, things started to happen. Now, Jameis is who Jameis is. We seen that year with Sean Payton when Sean Payton kind of coached the interceptions out of Jameis, but we don't have the type of staff to do that. I agree. Matt Moscona said something on X today. He said that the Saints should have kept Jameis Winston and brought somebody in to compete with him as far as drafting, a rookie quarterback, not go and get a mediocre guy that cost $150 million. But
Yep.
just to also be quick here, I can see during this bye week, the Saints maybe even making a change at play calling. And maybe some things get a little bit better, but Saints fans, I wouldn't put too much hope into this Saints team. As long as they're under DA with this current regime, they're gonna be what you see. They're gonna be an average at best football team that's going to be mediocre and going to be filled with a lot of ups and downs with a $150 million quarterback that cares more about stat pattern than he does as far as really being a genuine leader and making the throws when necessary.
Yeah.
So it sucks, man. And to see, we talked about this too. We foreshadowed this too. That one of these games, the defense wasn't going to be on it, and we seen that in the first half. And Carr is not the type of quarterback to throw people into the game, back into the game, and make all the right throws and be aggressive and have the leadership there. This really like should have got ugly today. Like it could have got really really ugly.
It would have
But
been. It would have
yeah,
been.
yeah,
Because like I said, I mean, Derek Carr is not, I don't care. Like people can say whatever they want. Derek Carr is not the type of guy that would jump in front of the bullet to save someone's life. He's the type of guy, in my opinion, I don't care. He will throw that person in front of that bullet. Or he'll walk away knowing that a person about to get shot. That's his personality
yeah,
to me. Like I don't look at him as that type of person. Now, I'm just saying it hypothetical. I'm just saying he's the type of guy that I feel like he's not going to put anybody else before himself. And that's
yeah,
the issue. That's the issue right there. He cares more about padding his stats up because it helps his credibility as a quarterback because everybody is questioning, is he a good quarterback? So even if the Saints are struggling, right? Even if the
yeah,
Saints are struggling and his stat line looks good, it makes him look like he's not at fault. I think,
yeah,
and honestly, I think Mike Florio may have mentioned something like that. And it was a great point. He said, Derek Carr strikes me as a guy who basically does things that are wrong, but he sees somebody else doing something wrong and he makes a big deal about it. So the shadow won't be cast on him. It'll be cast on the other person. Thus, him doing that to Chris Olave. I mean,
yeah.
that pretty much showed me everything I needed to see. That type
Right,
of stuff don't change, bro. That's who a
right,
person is.
right. And man, lastly, before I go, I would say this to kind of paint the picture for you. Derek Carr is the guy that you ever, anybody in the chat, you've worked a job, and maybe you or someone else on the job really deserves a promotion or really deserves to be the top guy, have put the work in. That's Derek Carr and Jameis Winston. But the boss has favorites with someone's son or something, or bring somebody in because he has favorites, and someone that hasn't really earned it, doesn't really know the team, doesn't really know how to lead. That's Derek Carr and Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, no matter what you say, never really had a fair shake with the Saints. He was 14 TDs and 3 interceptions under Sean Payton before he got injured. I think
Mm-hmm.
if he would have been healthy that year, Sean Payton probably would have stayed. To be honest, I think if we matching them head to head, Carr is not better than Jameis Winston. They just do different things. Jameis Winston takes more of the risk, and you got to coach some of the risk out of him. And Carr does nothing. He does not take a risk. He takes everything underneath. The difference is he blames the finger on everyone else. And you've never seen Jameis Winston do that. You've never seen Jameis Winston point the finger. He's taking credibility for those 30 interceptions. Which to be honest, all that wasn't his fault. That's an organization thing, but that's another conversation for a different day. But
Yeah.
long story short, man, that's who he is. And I think really, man, to be honest, I hope, but I could be wrong. Under this regime, I think things are going to continue to be stale. They have so many young quarterbacks coming out in this draft,
Yep.
and the Saints, and they're going to have options available, and the Saints don't really need that much at the skill position to where they just pass up on a QB. And I would hope they will bring a guy in if you stuck under this contract with Carr for another 1 or 2 years, at least somebody to come in and compete with Carr, and maybe you can let Carr go and eat the $150 million because you got a young, talented QB, at the helm that costs nothing. Maybe that's what maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know, man. I don't want to get my hopes up, but anyway, thank you. Thanks as usual, man. Thanks for letting me on.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call. Make sure you call back anytime, man. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thanks.
All right. Yeah.
Who that?
Yeah,
Who
man.
that, Paxton?
Yeah, Paxton right here next to me, man. Yeah, shouts out to Money Mick, man. But yeah, man, look, there's some change that is needed. I don't know if, honestly, I know people are like, man, fire DA, fire DA. You're not about to fire a coach if you still leading a division. It's as trash as this division is. That's the thing that's honestly saving Dennis Allen for real. Like, if they was playing in I don't know, the AFC West, or they were playing in like one of these other competitive divisions, like this seat would be so hot, you would think that Satan was standing next to the seat himself. Like, the Saints play in an incompetent division. But we're gonna go ahead and go to Chosen. Chosen, how you doing?
What's up, TJ, man? These calls has been funny, bro. No
Man, hey,
cap.
man. Yeah,
Money
I mean, look,
Money
we done
Mick
got
say, Money Mick say, Jameis Winston, he takes risks. Derek Carr does nothing.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he don't do nothing. I guess this is the truth.
Die laughing, bro.
Man, Derek Carr gonna take care of himself, man. Like Jameis Winston, like, bro, I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you ever like just play sports, like you appreciate a dude like Jameis Winston, because
Of course.
Dude he gonna put you in a position to shine, and he don't care about that.
Hey,
like
he
people
gonna
up there
fight.
going,
He gonna fight. It's like
man.
Jameis Winston gonna like, man, I'm gonna live with it, I'm gonna die with it. Cause it's like, I want to help, but I might get my shoes dirty. I might get my jersey ripped. Like, no, man, Jameis is raw. Jameis, it is. At this point, TJ, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you already down. You already back against the wall. Fight, at least go out swinging, bro. Don't just feet go curl up in the ball and just get stepped on, man. Go out swinging. That's why I love Jameis, bro. And that press conference, DA wrong for what he said, bro. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but this man said, I don't know who asked him about quarterback, but this man said, oh, there's no competition at quarterbacks. Like, I felt offended because I'm like, okay, even if you felt that way, I don't feel like that's something you should air. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he kind of put him down. Like, oh, there's no competition. There was never no competition at quarterback. Like, what is you? Like, don't do that. Don't make it seem like that Derek Carr is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like Drew Brees,
leaps and bounds better. Yeah,
exactly, bro. I really got offended in real time. I said, hold up, did this man really just? Did he really just say that? Like, he making it seem like Carr was just untouchable. Bro, if it wasn't for Jameis, bro, TJ, I was literally asleep, bro. I fell asleep. And what woke me up was I started choking and I went to get some water. And I checked my phone to check the score, and I seen Jameis start. I'm like, what the hell, Jameis start? It's the fourth quarter. We in garbage time already. And I looked, and it was like, I seen it said Carr was out, and like you say, I started watching the game. I'm like, this might be interesting. And I was at the edge of my seat, bro. I swear to God, I was literally asleep. I fell asleep on the game, bro. I went up, got me something to drink, checked the score, saw Jameis was playing, and it got interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to realize that Jameis is not, ain't nobody never said Jameis was a world beat or whatever, but I would have started him today. He would have won this game for me today if he would have started. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about what he did in the past. Just like some guy on Facebook tried to argue me. This man really set up here and posted, oh, Jameis been garbage since he was only good at Florida State. I'm not talking about what Jameis doing. You're making it about Jameis now. But my thing is, you so quick to jump on Jameis. Jameis only played from the third quarter, 7 minutes left to the end of the game. What about Carr? I ain't hear you say nothing about Carr. Like, we so quick to jump on Jameis, but Jameis ain't played the whole game. We're gonna ignore what Carr did or didn't do the first three and a half quarters. Like, come on, man. We gotta call a spade, bro. That's what ticks me off with the favoritism and the bias y'all want to protect Carr so much and jump on Jameis so much to try to prove a narrative. Like, but if you go back and watch this game, this game is perfect. This game should end all that debate. This game right here should end all the speculation about Carr and Jameis and Carr and Jameis and Dennis Allen, which bring me back to Dennis Allen, bro, with him at the press conference hollering about, oh well, we need to do. I'm not happy with how the first half going, bro. That goes back to coaching. You should have your guys prepared to play 60 minutes, not just half.
Right.
All the things that he's mad about, it comes back on him, bro. It comes back on him. Dennis Allen always complaining about what he don't like. You don't like yourself at this point because everything comes back to you and P. Carmichael. And I'm gonna let you elaborate on that, TJ.
Yeah, look, here's how I feel about it. You're gonna have some haters out there that's gonna always have something to say, about Jameis Winston. And like I said, any way that they can get it, they can get it. Because a lot of them, when Derek Carr came, it was like, real quarterback. And then all of a sudden, like they found out the dude was pedestrian. Now they're in defense mode now. So now it's like, well, I can't big up Jameis Winston because I already said he ain't good enough.
Right.
Now when he showed, this game would have been out of hand, completely and utterly out of hand, even if Derek Carr would have stayed in. Anybody that don't believe me, look no further than this dude missing a wide open Rashid Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
Look no further than, once again, I said at the top of the show, this dude had about as long as my grandparents been married, 60 years to throw the football, and yet he still got the ball ripped. Cesar Ruiz had to recover the fumble. And yet y'all sitting up here talking about this man who came in when the score was 27-3. And man, he didn't win the game. He would come on, man. He the reason honestly you stayed watching the game.
Exactly.
You would have been cut that TV off, man. Y'all would have been asleep, man. I'm telling you.
Think about it. And fans need to ask themselves this, TJ, let me cut y'all. They need to ask themselves this right here, bro. When Jameis came in a game, I don't care, and you got to keep it real. Didn't he give you an ounce of hope that the Saints could possibly come back and win this game? That's my thing. When Carr was in, you knew it was over. You just had a feeling it was over. But when Jameis came in, people can't tell me that at least it crossed your mind that maybe, just, I don't care if it's 1%, just maybe Jameis might could pull his comeback out. Because I know I did, especially after that second one. I said, you know what, Jameis might actually could tie this thing up. Now, if we go to overtime and lose, then that's just what it is. But I felt at least Jameis, get this man a chance. I felt like he would at least give us a chance to get in that red zone one more time. You know what I'm saying? Before the interceptions happen and the flags and the things like that happen. But like I said, bro, Jameis made it competitive. Jameis made it interesting. You knew what you was gonna get with Carr. You knew it wasn't going no goddamn way.
Well, at least I didn't fall asleep. Like I said, at least the game was exciting. At least it made it
was
interesting.
exciting, bro, and it was competitive. The whole energy changed, bro. Even with the interceptions, TJ, everybody still was mad at James. Even with the interceptions, because he was making something happen. He was fighting.
This
he was
man
willing
about
to fight.
This man about to have Chris Olave north of 125 yards. I mean, that
in
would
less than 2 quarters, man.
Yeah, in less than 2 quarters, because he got his first pass from James freaking Winston.
Exactly. He had no targets. People not realizing he had 0. Olave wasn't even in the game, but you won't blame Jameis. And then he got A.T. Perry, his first touchdown. Come on, man.
Bruh, I learned so much about this team from Jameis Winston than I ever did from Derek Carr. And I'm not saying, like I said, I ain't got no dog in the fight. I just want to see a quarterback to win a football game.
Right.
All I'm saying is he showed us a lot of talent that these guys have. Like I said, Chris Olave was like a completely different human being. Like that dude, man, I said this man was turning up. This dude turned all the way up. Like when he had a big play that would have put him over 125, but the play was called back. Like the dude, he called like a pass. The man was diving all on the ground, catch pass. Come on,
he
man.
was putting it out there exactly because he knew. It's like they know. Derek Carr, you don't want to. Do you want to dive on the ground for Derek Carr?
Right.
Do you want to risk it all for Derek Carr? No.
Nope. Because you want him out of there.
Right, but that's all I got, TJ. But I know I got other callers, man. But like Jared said, I was laughing at Jared. So Jared said we still a family.
Yeah.
You ever saw Soul Food, TJ?
Right.
When that woman said, I let family and family slept with my I want a new family. This ain't it. I was just
You know what the family? You're the family. You're my husband. Yeah, that's right. Fate F my husband.
Jared said, we family at the end of the day. That woman said, I left family and family. That's what my husband.
Fate. I'm sorry. You sorry? Nah, man. Look, we definitely can reenact an episode of Soul Food, man. We got to do that another time. But Chosen, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the call.
No problem, man. Who that?
All right, yeah, who that? Yeah, man. Y'all went Vanessa Williams came up in there. Yeah, you talking about y'all family. Yeah, man, that was funny, man. Hilarious right there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna go to Dolph. Dolph, how you doing, man?
Where should I start, TJ? Where should I start, brother? First of all, appreciate you having me on, my brother. I appreciate you.
All right, no problem, man.
And you already know, bro. Ain't nothing but love, bro. But let me just say what's on. First of all, let me say this. What I'm about to say, y'all better understand what I'm about to say. Know who you coming at when you come back with your remarks. First of all, I ain't no Derek Carr lover. I ain't no Derek Carr apologist. But right now, everybody's sitting up here trying to put this loss on Derek Carr. Y'all out y'all mind, man. It ain't just no Derek Carr. And I'm tired of everybody giving this so-called top defense a damn pass. When you sign up to play defense, it's not to play defense in ideal situations. You get paid to play defense to stop the other team from scoring, no matter if your offense turns the ball over and gives the other team field position.
Hey, Dolph, yeah?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. You was going in and out.
All right, let me start over then. Let me start it. Defense. Everybody's giving the defense excuses. Everybody right now is losing track. Somebody says something about somebody deflecting and putting it on, turning out what somebody else is doing so it doesn't come back on that person. That's what a lot of y'all doing with this Saints defense. Stop with that, bro. Derek Carr, yes. Could he have played better? Yes. Did he turn the ball over today and put the defense in a bad situation today? No, sir. Not one time. Could he have played better? Could he have done better on third down? The Saints are horrible on third down today. 22% succession rate on third down. Man, that's horrible, man. Going into the second quarter, that game was 3-3 going into the second quarter. When you on defense, you get paid to stop the opposing team. And I'm gonna say it again. It's not you get paid to stop the other team in ideal situations. The Saints on offense didn't put the Saints defense in no bad situation today. No, were they struggling? Were they inconsistent? Were they only able to manage 3 points in the first half? You damn right. But it was this our first time seeing this offense do that? Have they? Yes, no, it wasn't. This offense that the Saints have, we know they are what they are, man. They're a 5-5 football team. They are what they are. But everybody Derek Carr is. If Derek Carr got to motivate somebody to go out there and play, if you're not motivated to go out there and play because all of your brothers on the team and not just one who you bled with, you sweat with, who you work out with, who you see every day, more so than your family. If you're not motivated to go out there and bust your ass for them and for yourself and your immediate family and for your legacy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you. Something wrong with you. Now, I understand what everybody's saying about Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? Well, he doesn't take the risk. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's in love. Everybody's in love with the backup quarterback. All y'all in love with Jameis Winston. Same ones talking about Jameis now with the same ones last year talking about Jameis ain't it. And the same ones the year before saying, why we getting Jameis? So miss me with that. Jameis Winston came in today. Did he ignite a fire on the team? Okay. Did Minnesota prepare to go up against Jameis Winston? No. Just like Atlanta didn't prepare to go up against Joshua Dobbs last week. If Jameis would have started this game, just because how he came in and the game ended, doesn't mean that's how it would have went the whole game. And by the way, the defense turned the ball back over to the offense, to Jameis Winston. and the Saints offense with the bad play calling, the bad blocking, the bad route running. A.T. Perry out there, he don't know what the hell he doing. You got two receivers in the same vicinity. No players drawn up like that. Jameis throwing off his damn back foot. And right after the 2-minute warning, you guys got a penalty to get a first down. Why you throw that ball, bro? Why you throw that? And like everyone was saying, if he was just patient and he had time in the pocket, A.T. Perry was coming open. But no, he just went back and that's the thing that frustrates you with Jameis. It ain't gonna get no better. It ain't gonna get no better. We need a quarterback. Derek Carr ain't the long-term answer. Jameis ain't the answer. It's just that simple. But we got to stop letting this defense off with a pass. These people were supposed to be a top 5 or top 10 defense. They gave up 21 in the second quarter to the Minnesota Vikings. They had Joshua Dobbs out there looking like he was an all-pro, the second coming of Randall Cunningham, Lamar Jackson, any scrambling quarterback you can think of. They couldn't get him on the ground. They kept losing contain. Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Pete Werner was a spy, but shit, he shouldn't have been because he damn sure wasn't doing a good job of spying. He wasn't closing out. In the second half, if you notice, they switched and had Double D, DeMario Davis as the spy because Pete Werner wasn't getting the job done. So everybody out here just talking about just trying to put this on Derek Carr. No, I ain't no Derek Carr apologist and none of that. His ass sucked. He wasn't playing that good today. The whole offense sucked. The Saints were actually running the ball, but got away from running the ball. How the hell Taysom Hill only get 1 carry today? And speaking of Taysom Hill, we love you when you do right, good, and we go praise you. But, bro, you can't be dropping them passes, bro. Now, one you were sandwiching, I understand that, but come on, bro. A.T. Perry, great catch for your first touchdown. But late in the game, pressure on, you got to catch that ball, son. You got to catch that ball. I just think we got to stop letting this defense get away, bro. This defense is not who they're claiming to be. It started in that Green Bay game, and it's continued. And TJ, I believe I heard you saying a couple more family members say it was going to catch up to them when they play a competent team with a competent quarterback. Now think about this. It was 24 to 3 at halftime without Kirk Cousins and without Justin Jefferson. Just think how bad it would have been if they had them two. We got outscored 21-0, and everybody seems to want to sit here and and guess what? It wasn't because of time of possession. The time of possession was close. So y'all need to go back and look at that. I'm not letting this defense off the hook no more, man. We're paying too much money on the side of the defense. We give him Derek Carr, get his ass $150 million. And right now, he ain't getting the job done, but it's just not him. You had running backs missing blitz pickups today. Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara. You had a screen pass to Rashid Shaheed in the flat, and Jawan Johnson just standing up there, lets the man run straight by him. Like, what the hell I'm supposed to do? You're supposed to block the damn man that's right there in front of you. So, man, it's a lot of things besides Derek Carr that is the problem with this team.
I disagree.
It's a lot.
I disagree. I disagree 100%. Like, all right. You had stats, Dolph. I got stats for you too, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right. Saints first possession. It was up 3-0. Minnesota punt. That was a 7-play, 28-yard drive right there. Second possession, field goal, 10 plays, 48 yards. Third possession, punt. Fourth possession, punt. Fifth possession, end of half. Coming back out, punt. Next touchdown. And guess who that touchdown was by? Jameis freaking Winston. You had one. Wait a minute. I want to make sure you had 6 possessions. You had 6 to be able to counteract what you did, what Minnesota did, and they did absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, I agree with you with the defense, but this is something that we've seen. Like, for the last 3-4 games, we've seen this defense look like 2016 in the first half and look like world beaters in the second half. They only scored 3 points in the second half. So my thing is, bro, like, I'm sorry. Do I think that each one of these quarterbacks is But to say that it's not Derek Carr's fault that they was in the position that they were in, that's just not true, man. Like, you got to put points on the board. That defense, they weren't stopping Minnesota. That fact is true. But at the same time, they did get the ball back, and he did absolutely nothing with it. And they only had a spark that was only provided when Jameis Winston came into the game. I mean, I'm not saying that he should be the starter going forward. I'm not saying that he should be the starter, on some other team or whatever like that. All I'm saying is there are a lot of things going on with this offense, and you can look at Derek Carr for being a reason. Because if that's the case, how the hell do I know that how the hell Lynn Bowden got a catch? How the hell, like, you think A.T. Perry, seriously, A.T. Perry has played in 3 games. That was his first freaking reception. Are you saying that this dude ain't good enough at least one time to get up? Michael Thomas last week had 1 target, no yards. Chris Olave, before Jameis Winston came into this game, no catches, no targets, no yards. To say that he's completely absolved of what's going on with this offense and why they were down in this game.
I never said that, bro.
You just said it.
I ain't never say he
You
told
said
it.
it.
I never
You
said
said
he
you
absolved or
blame- You
anything.
said you blame it. No, you said y'all blaming Derek Carr.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
said
not
y'all
Derek
trying
Carr's
to.
fault.
I say it's
Man,
everybody's fault.
Dolph,
No, bro.
Dolph,
You know
I'll
I
let you
know,
talk
bro.
for Dolph. I'll let
Go
you
ahead, bro. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening, bro. Go ahead.
uninterrupted. You want me to rewind? Somebody go and rewind and say when this dude said
Rewind
it
it.
wasn't Derek Carr's fault. Hey, man, we cool, bro. But if you're gonna put that stuff out there, man, we gotta
Oh
be
yeah.
100.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. 100. Let's go.
Dude is not the answer. You're saying it's not his fault. How is a quarterback who has been in the league for 10 years as a 10-year veteran, has a team down 27-3? He's the guy he's the guy that's facilitating the offense. How is it that is not his fault? Now, you can say the defense did put him in a hole, but why is it that when they got the possessions, they had 5 in the first half? Why is it that they only came away with a Blake Grupe field goal? I mean, and all of a sudden, like, when the backup quarterback comes into the game, yes, there is some validity behind that. But also, you watched enough football to know when a team has an insurmountable lead, 27-3, they get a little bit soft when it comes to coverage. When they start blitzing Jameis Winston, you know what I'm saying? Like, he still was delivering the ball down the field, and he provided a spark. 2 things can be true here. He don't need to be the starter, but they wouldn't have been in this position if Derek Carr would have stayed in this game. You, like, for real, seriously, what have you seen from Derek Carr over the course of his career where you can just say that they had a lead that was insurmountable and he put this team on his back? I can think maybe 3 times, probably less than that I seen him have like a lead that was more than 15 points and he facilitated a comeback. But nah, bro, I can't. I can't, bro. Derek Carr is not the answer. And that defense did look like trash in the first half, but at the end of the day, dog, like, Derek Carr looked like trash himself because he could not get the ball down the field. Period.
They all look like trash, bro. And I never said, and if I did, please rewind it because I need to hear myself say that. If I to the swore, I say that I'm not excusing Derek Carr. It's everybody's fault, bro. It's to me, everybody just saying Derek Carr, Derek Carr. Derek Carr didn't miss picking up blitz. Derek Carr didn't run the wrong routes. You see what I'm saying? Yes, Derek Carr. Brandon, if I did say it, put it up. If I did say it, bro. If I said this shit, I stand by what I say, bro. If I said it, I said it, But Derek Carr, to me, Derek Carr, is Derek Carr the answer, the future going forward for the Saints? Nah, bro. He not.
I agree with that. Now,
Is Jameis Winston the future going forward for this team?
I don't believe
no,
that either.
But I'm gonna say this: we missing the thing. This is what I'm trying to get out. We so focused on this Derek Carr stuff and Jameis Winston stuff. Now you got everybody going. You got Carr. You got Winston. We back to that like we was last year. With the fact of that, with the part that is being missed, is what's supposed to be the heart and soul of this team is letting this team down, and that is the defense. They keep playing with fire. They kept playing with fire. The only reason they escaped these other couple weeks was because of poor coach choices by the teams they played and the quarterbacks they was playing. Today they dug themselves a hole that was too deep for them as a team to come out of, bro. And that's what I'm saying. It's everything about this team, bro. Look at Carl Granderson. You get him off the field on 3rd down, you go get a roughing the passer call. You can't be doing stuff like that, bro.
Yeah,
This
I agree.
team,
Like, Dolph, look, I 100% agree with you, man. We definitely gonna have to pick this
oh
up
yeah,
at a
yeah,
different
most
time.
definitely, bro. I
But look,
appreciate the
the
call, bro.
defense, like, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to feel like I don't understand what you're saying about the
Yeah,
defense.
yeah.
1000%.
And I understand what you're
that
saying
this
about
defense,
Derek Carr 1,000. I feel you.
right? Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the defense, yes, they need some help. And I said this on Twitter.
Mhm.
They need some help when it comes to the pass rush. People
Yes.
like, man, they be whiffing on draft picks. They whiffing. Bro, they just paid a guy that they brought to the team and Carl Granderson. I mean, can I enter y'all and Trey Hendrickson? See, what we do is we focus on the bad decisions, right? And they be like, well, they don't know how to pick guys. Look at Brian Brzee. Like, that's a good choice.
That's a hell of a
Cam
first
Jordan
round.
throughout his career. That
Good
was
stuff.
a good choice. Carl Granderson is a good choice. So it's to say that they are
Pete
incapable
Warner.
of picking guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To say that they're incapable of picking guys through the draft to be able to provide a spark defensively is that's just not true. We just pay attention and focus on the Davenports and the Turners of the world, and we just hold on to those. But that's not the case. But Dolph, man, thank you so much, man.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
the call.
you, my brother.
And man, hey, before you go, let everybody know how they can get in touch with you with your with the podcast.
Oh yeah, man. I'm over there at the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast, man. Y'all, we got our own official YouTube channel, man. We also have, as the NFL turns, our Sunday morning pregame kickoff show, which is hosted by Nonfiction and Zach of Real Fan Sports, and also Mr. Carlos Clayton of Uneducated Sports, man. And we air every Thursday on our channel as well as the PRO Media Network. Shout out to Big Q on Who That Nation United Thursday. And after Saints game, we have what is called a kickback, which I'm about to get ready to kick off once TJ get finished. Y'all want to finish y'all conversation? Look, I'm gonna open up the line. Come let me know what I said. And if I said that, hey, I got to stand on that, bro. But by no means, and I'm saying Derek Carr is blameless in any of this, bro. What I'm saying is I am not gonna overlook what this defense has been doing, and they have been failing this team. So TJ, I appreciate you, bro. And like I told you, bro, you always welcome over there, bro. You can jump in over there because it go get crazy over there, man. So again, I appreciate you, my brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. And thank you so much for chiming in. And look, and I know people.
You
I'm
broke
telling
up
everybody.
a little. You broke up a
Oh,
little, TJ.
I apologize, man. I was saying, looking forward to all of your takes as far as with the New Orleans Saints on your channel.
Yes,
and
sir.
good luck to you, man.
Man, I appreciate it. Same to you, brother. Later.
All right, take care. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Dolph. Yeah, I mean, look, what he said about the defense, in my opinion, yeah, I'm all with that. I'm with that. Like, this defense, like, looks like mere shells of itself in the first half, and then in the second half, they just become otherworldly. Like, they like the best defense in the league. But when it comes to Derek Carr, the Saints were in that position because, number one, the defense, they could. The Saints could not counteract. Like, I'm not saying that you're going to score on every drive, right? But you had 5 possessions in the first half, and you only can come away with 3 points. And some of these drives, like I said, some of these drives, they were long. There were some long drives. Like, let me see. A 7-play drive, that's a decent drive right there. Play drives, like, come on, man. You got to come away with some type of points. Like, this is like, come on, man. Like, look, this dude leaves a lot to be desired. But we're gonna go to Aaron. Aaron, how you doing, man?
Yo, TJ, it's been a minute, dog. How you been?
Man, I've been all right, man. What you got for us?
So, a lot of what I'm about to say, I'm pretty much gonna get flamed for in the comments, and I'm fully prepared to stand 10 toes down on what I'm about to say, TJ. That includes.
Okay.
I looked at this game, and I'm not absolving anyone of criticism. This is a game that was a complete disaster class in all 3 phases. TJ, you know it's a bad day when your long snapper of all people is getting penalized on a special teams play. That's how I knew this day was going to go absolutely just in the bucket. Everyone wants to make.
Hey, turn your volume up. Aaron, turn your volume up. People saying they can't hear you, Bubba.
Oh, one sec.
All right, try to see if we can turn this. Speak
Is that better,
again.
TJ?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
All right, so like I said, it was going to be a bad day when your long snapper is getting penalized on a special teams play. I knew right there it was going to hit the bucket. But everyone wants to make a big deal about Derek Carr getting paid $150 million when I personally believe they just don't understand the value of a quarterback just going up in terms of the market. Derek Carr's value in terms of the face value of his contract is 14th highest. That's middle of the pack. That's around where Derek Carr is. And not even that, TJ, he's not going to see half of that money. It's basically a 2-year deal, and they basically just got him out after the second year. If things don't pan out the way they hope it pans out.
Hey,
So
Aaron. Hey, Aaron.
It's just weird to me.
A lot of sense, and I want people to be able to hear it, but they're saying they're having an issue with your volume, man. They're saying that you're really low.
I'll call back.
Okay, all right, man. We're gonna get you back in. Yeah, man. I mean, he was making some sense there. I mean, I kind of got a little bit of what he was saying. He was going to talk a little bit about some of the contract situation when it comes to Derek Carr and where he sits as far as the pecking order. So hopefully we can get Aaron back in so we can be able to talk to him a little bit more. We will go to Shaq Davis. I'm just playing. We're gonna go to Shaq. Hey, how you doing, man? Shaq, are you there? I guess we ain't gonna go to Shaq. I guess we gotta go with somebody else. Gotta go to Brandon. How you doing, man?
Oh, what's up, TJ?
Hey, how you doing, man? What you got for us?
I just wanted to touch on a little something about you and King Arthur was talking about Chris Olave getting arrested. Now,
okay,
I understand what the guy in the chat was saying about not Derek Carr doesn't have the responsibility about him being arrested, but if you go back to the Sean Payton and Drew Brees days, when you have a chain of command on your team, you got the head coach and you got the quarterback.
Right.
When you have a general, as in Sean Payton and Drew Brees, you didn't see any of these things happening. Alvin Kamara getting arrested, receivers getting arrested, Michael Thomas throwing bricks at people. I mean,
Brandon, let me say this, man. I don't want to just completely make it seem like them boys were just running Harmony Hut over there when Sean Payton was the coach. I mean, you had Joseph Morgan who got arrested, Willie Snead got arrested. I mean, you had, Lattimore. I mean, you had your fair share, but I get what you're saying, man. It's just I don't want people just to just say like it just didn't. Nobody.
No,
didn't
I'm not trying to
anything.
say they were,
but I get what you're saying. It's like like. No pun intended, the inmates are running the asylum here. Like basically, like they're making these decisions feel like there aren't going to be any ramifications. I got you. I understand what you're saying, but they did have like some issues also when Sean Payton was the head coach. But go ahead, finish up, man.
My bad. I'm just a little nervous, but
nah, man, no, take your time, man. Hey, bro, we family here, man. We family here. Ain't nobody, everybody just here giving their opinion, just including me. But go ahead, finish up, man.
My other point was about everybody blaming the game on Jameis. When DA post game interview, he said we kind of got away from our game plan. Jameis in practice is not taking any first team snaps. He basically on tablet duty. He's not seeing any snaps. So when they putting Jameis in the game, it's just to finish the game. You see receivers going into the same vicinity. Why do you have Chris Olave running the double move in zone coverage, cover 3? Like they're not trying to win the game with Jameis.
Right.
Jameis did the best he could to get the game back on track. Now, why are you calling all passes when you threw your game plan out the window because you were down? Jameis gets you back into the game. Why was there no run plays in the last 3 minutes of the game?
Right.
I mean,
I agree. Completely like suspend the run. Like you ain't really see Taysom Hill like back there doing anything anymore. It's like I get it. Like the lead was like so insurmountable at the particular time. like you had to suspend the run. And the crazy thing about it was, and this is something that Dolph said that was true. They were running the football well. I was shocked. Like when I was
Alvin
talking about
Kamara
it on the
averaging
pregame,
5 a carry.
yeah, I was like, man,
I'm
like
like,
when he was getting it, he was getting it. But when you go down, like that, like you got to suspend the running game, and but oh man, this was a rough game, man. But let me ask you this: what are your thoughts about like Jameis Winston coming in 7 minutes left? Like, did you see anything? Like, did you see anything when Jameis Winston came in the game that you did not see when Derek Carr has been starting on the offense?
Well, like y'all said, TJ, I mean, it's like Dennis Allen and Derek Carr had the same identity. They're trying to save themselves, like with the stats and
facts.
DA trying to save his job.
Facts.
I mean, you could just tell, like when Jameis go out there, like you want a quarterback that's gonna motivate your players.
Yes.
Like when Derek Carr told Olave kept running, you hollering at Chris Olave. Jameis is the type of guy that, we're gonna get him next time. He's putting the ball into his playmaker's hand. That's why Chris Olave is fired up, because he knows that his quarterback has confidence in him to make a play. That's why you see him so amped up. You would think, from the way you was talking, you wouldn't think Chris Olave could catch a 50-50 ball, TJ.
Yeah. That's the truth. And like I said, guys just want to feel like they have an opportunity to make a play. And like I say, man, I mean, anybody that's ever played organized sports, man, the worst thing, I don't care. Like it don't have to be football. It can be baseball, it can be basketball. Ain't nothing worse than you possess a talent and don't feel like it's being utilized. Like that is like the absolute worst. Like it will affect you psychologically, the way that you approach the game. Like I've seen some real dogs in my lifetime, like could easily play like, high school, you move on to the college ranks, but it was just the fact that the team wasn't good enough. They weren't getting like, if you out there playing at PE and watching these dudes play, you like, man, this dude right here can play in a big name school. But when they go out there and you can't like utilize your talent, like you see guys like walking, running routes, disinterested, feel like they ain't got nothing to offer. And that's like the worst feeling. So the fact that he was able to like utilize like these guys' strength, A.T. Perry's ability to leap at 6'5", Chris Olave's ability to kind of work the middle of the field, like that kind of stuff meant something. And it also opened up the eyes of the Who Dat Nation to know if Derek Carr is the answer, Jameis Winston is the answer. If you get yourself a quarterback with some promise that can lead your team somewhere, you have the talent on this team offensively. Like I come away from this game, like I know they lost, but I came away from this game feeling completely different and completely optimistic about the future of this football team when it comes to a couple of these players that I've seen making some plays. So that's the way I see it. You got anything else, Brandon?
No, sir.
Okay, man. Well, look, you can call back anytime, man. Don't be nervous, man. You call back anytime. Looking forward to hearing from you again, man. And thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, TJ.
All right, take care. Yeah, man. Brandon was on it, man. Like for real. Like, you got guys to me that it's more about saving themselves to live to fight another day than to go out here and perform at a high level and try to win the whole damn thing. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me go. I think we're gonna go with Aaron. Aaron, how you doing, man? Yes.
Can you hear me better?
I can hear you. Like I can hear you. I don't know about the people in the chat, but you can go ahead, man.
So I'm trying to figure all this out. As you can see, TJ made a promise, man. I'm getting it done. I'm working
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I see you got the computers, man. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you put them to work.
Hey, you know what it is coming up real soon. But with that being said, man, like I said, a lot of the stuff I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get flamed for it. I already know. I've already accepted the fact. I looked at this game and I seen a total collapse on all three phases. And that's weird to me. TJ, the long snapper got penalized. The long snapper. You know you're going to be in for a long day when your long snapper is facing some penalties. That's just uncharacteristic. That's uncharacteristic. It's weird. It's abnormal. But hot take, I like overall for the most part, I was okay with the play call selection from Pete Carmichael. It was the execution that bothered me. TJ, on an out route to A.T. Perry, the man slips. On a deep in route to A.T. Perry with Jameis Winston, that was like at least 25 yards. A.T. Perry got to hold on to that ball. He's 6'5". He's got at least 2 inches over Cameron Bynum. You're going up to make the play. You're going up to try to command the ball, and you let it get punched out of your hands. You know you needed that play. You got to come down with that. Jameis Winston put it in the best spot possible, and you just let someone come out. You let someone smaller than you outmuscle you, outwork you. Can't happen. Defensively is where I'm most frustrated. TJ Hawkinson was hobbled. He was supposed to be on a snap count. Tell me why Marcus May, on more than one occasion, is being put on skates by a hobble tight end for more than 100 yards on 10 plus catches. Can you explain that to me? Because I can't make heads or tails of that, like at all.
Yeah,
Linebackers were like decent, but I don't want to hear nothing from anybody personally about this team, this defense being too old. TJ, we just saw this old defense with this old defensive line limit Joshua Dobbs to less than 20 yards rushing in the second half. The problem isn't the fact that they're too old, it's the fact that they can't get off to a fast start like they did in the first half of the season. I don't know where the lack of effort came from. I don't know why they continue to play down to the competition. But I'm tired of seeing them come out in the second half, play to the level that we are accustomed to them playing at throughout from like 2018 to 2020. It's like, I don't get it. And I know Dennis Allen's going to get a lot of the heat, and I'm not absolving Dennis Allen. I'm going to sit here and say that Dennis Allen needs to find something to get this team back to where they were defensively in the first half of the season, or he needs to be gone. But I don't know, man. Like, I think DA has the right mindset. He has the right game plan. But in terms of execution, there's something lost in translation here. Whether he's not communicating it properly to his team or vice versa, it's got to get fixed. Now, the real only sliver that DA has is the fact that this division is dog shit right now, and he's still at worst is going to be tied for first in the division after this week, assuming the Falcons win. I don't know what that game's looking like right now. But this whole Derek Carr and Jameis Winston debate, I'm over it, TJ. I'm over it. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback if execution all around just isn't at NFL level. Hell, you can put Drew Brees back there, but if no one wants to put in the effort needed to win a game, the Saints aren't going anywhere. Whether it be Drew Brees or some new quarterback that everyone's pining for, everyone's recently pining for Jaden Daniels for whatever reason, don't know, don't care. The problem is execution. The team is here. Hell, I'll even say they got the coaching mindset. It's the execution. Marcus May shouldn't be getting put on skates for more than 100 yards in a damn game. In the first half even. Can't happen. Linebackers shouldn't be missing tackles. DNs, like even Cameron Jordan, they shouldn't be suddenly forgetting how to do fundamentals and setting an edge.
If there was one play, Eric play that Cam Jordan had his hand on Josh Dobbs. It was like he would have took him down for a sack, but instead he ended up extending the play, and that play would have set up maybe like, I want to say maybe like a 2nd and 15 or a 2nd and 17. And because he didn't end up making a play, I think Josh Dobbs got out the pocket and threw a pass down the field that converted a first down, and that ended up turning into a touchdown on a drive. So I'm like, man, if he would have took that guy down to the ground, then they would have been facing a long third down, and who knows? That would have been the momentum that you needed to shift. I want to say the game at that particular time I think the Saints were maybe just down by I want to say maybe down by 2 touchdowns at that particular point. But if he would have got that sack, then it would probably could have been a completely different story.
Yeah, I agree with that. That goes with what I was saying is it's about execution. They're not finishing plays. It's like all the talent in the world is here. They just can't finish it. They can't drive the nail home. And it's mind-boggling to me. Like DA's got these guys in positions to succeed. They've got matchups that they should dominate, but they're not dominating. It's weird. But DA's got to make it. DA's the one that's got to make that call. If he doesn't, then I agree. Dude needs to be out the door. But for right now, until I see this team playing with the energy that I know that they can play at, I think something else is going on that's outside of that's just outside of DA. I personally think that.
All right. Yeah. Look, I feel this way, man. Football is about attitude, and it's not just about the attitude on the field. It's about the attitude in the locker room. It's about the attitude that the coaches instill inside the players. And I just feel like there's something missing. I really do. I think that they need to find it. I don't know where they can find it at. To me, I don't think that you're gonna get there with Dennis Allen. I just don't. There's just something missing with this team, and hopefully, eventually, they can find it. Before it's too late. The best thing about this, and you mentioned this, Aaron, is the fact that they play in a division that stinks. And honestly, the fact that this division stinks just is saving Dennis Allen's job. Because if they were 5-5 and this was a competent division, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. So I think that's a question that the Saints need to ask themselves. If this division wasn't as bad, would we be looking at Dennis Allen differently than what we're looking at him now? So, you got anything else, man?
Yeah, just one thing. I'm happy to see A.T. Perry finally getting a chance to make his mark. It's probably a little too late at this point, but in the moments that A.T. has finally showed up, he showed up in big ways. And I think that's going to open up more opportunities, not just for him, but for the rest of the receiving core going forward, even beyond this season, TJ, because they're finally going to get younger in terms of Olave, Shaheed, A.T. Perry. They're going to have at least 3 guys, if not 4, assuming they try to find some way to get Michael Thomas back in the building as a veteran leader. But I'm not hinging my bets on that. Fact of the matter is, they're getting young at the right spots. Now, the offensive line, I still think they need to get Doug Marrone out the damn building. I don't care how well the O-line's played the last 2 weeks. Doug Marrone's got to go. Because I watched the same O-line with these same players before Andrews Pete got moved to left tackle. I've seen Eric McCoy play like a top 12 center. I've seen Cesar Ruiz be the best offensive lineman for the Saints pretty much all that year. I've seen Ryan Ramczyk be a former All-Pro. I've seen the jury is still out on Trevor Penning. I've seen James Hurst at least be, technically sound in terms of his fundamentals. Tell me why that as soon as Doug Marrone shows up to the building, every single one of these guys suddenly forgets how to pick up a blitz or how to diagnose a blitz or how to pass protect or how to win the one-on-one matchups. These are all physical guys who are attuned to their positions, and they're suddenly forgetting that. I don't know why, but I'm hinging my bets that it's Doug Marrone. They need to find someone else for that coaching position.
Yeah.
It's like the downfall of this offensive line group needs to be discussed more. It absolutely needs to.
Yeah. Look, I think that it need a complete overhaul, and hopefully they get it. Like everybody just needs to be reevaluated. Once again, I mean, you still got everything in front of you due to this weak division, but you got to ask yourself, like, what are you playing for? Like, are you playing to kind of make the playoffs to set yourself up for failure? Or are you just, like, what are we going to do here? Like, this is like, I don't know, man. It's like a boxer, you know what I'm saying, that's been in the amateurs or whatever. He knocking guys out. He has 21 wins in the amateurs, and now all of a sudden he got to fight Terrence Crawford or Deontay Wilder or something like that. You know he about to get put to sleep. You basically, like, he just, a big fish in a little pond. And that's what the Saints are, like, leading this division. Like they're just a big fish in a little pond. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't think anything is really going to be, significantly changed until probably after the season, because you're not going to let go of a coach that leading a division, and you're not going to try to change too much because you still got a chance to win the division. But Aaron, thank you so much, man, for the call. I appreciate it. And make sure you call back anytime. Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you.
All right, guys. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Who Dat Davis here on YouTube. You don't know, you will know over here. My motto is we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I run a channel called the B&G Breakdown Podcast. My last live stream, I was talking about Pete Carmichael. He needed to be fired, and all of a sudden he wants to call plays like he actually gives a damn. So maybe that did something, TJ. I don't know, but yeah, you can get in touch with me over there on the B&G Breakdown Podcast. Thanks to TJ and everyone's support, I'm finally managing to get my setup the way I want it to. It's going to be great, man. I can't wait to start running content again. TJ, the only thing I'm missing a microphone. I'm working on getting a microphone, but once that starts, once I get that microphone, TJ, it's popping off. It's popping off, and I can't wait for it. I got a couple things already in the drafts. And if you guys wanted to get in touch with me over on X, formerly known as Twitter, I still can't believe they call it that. You can reach me out on X at x.com/whodatdavis or Twitter, whichever the browser name is or whatever. You can reach me out over there, or even if on Facebook. I got most of my content right now is over on Facebook. Facebook.com, search B&G Breakdown. A lot of this stuff is gonna be absolutely crazy. I can't wait for it. And guys, it's all thanks to TJ. TJ is the reason why I'm even doing content like this to begin with. Yeah. 3 years ago, I was here on this show. I took my first call. We talked shop about Saints football. TJ, I remember that game. We were talking about the 2020 season with Drew Brees after he got injured in the 49ers game. He had cracked ribs, and I was pining for Taysom Hill. I remember that. Like, you cooked me for that, and rightfully so. But I've studied my game. I've bettered my game, my understanding of the game ever since then. So, guys, if you guys aren't subscribed to TJ, if you're watching, give my man, show him some love. Give my man a subscription to the channel. It takes less than 2 seconds. It's absolutely free. $0.00. You guys are going to get bang for your buck if you guys do want to put in a little more money, because this guy here, he's a king of Saints YouTube, straight up.
I appreciate you saying that, man. I mean, they got so many great YouTubers out there. I'm just glad to be in that number. No pun intended. But Aaron, I mean, I always say this, man. I'm not just saying this because you're on the line. You have so much untapped potential, man. Like, you have an anointing on your life when it comes to like doing broadcasting and doing these things, because I can tell you passionate about it. So I don't just say that kind of stuff just to blow smoke up your behind. I want you to be able to live up to your potential, because, like they say, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what God has in store for you. And he has something in store for you, man. So take that equipment behind you and use it to the best of your ability. I say that all the time, man. I started off in a closet with an iPhone 10 recording stuff because I couldn't afford a webcam and I couldn't afford a microphone. But, I believed in it, and I trust in God to order my steps. And I'm blessed to be able to be in this position. And I know it's only a matter of time before you get there too, man. So good luck to you, man. And I'm looking forward to everything that you got going on. All right. You take care.
Take care, man.
All right, man. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Aaron, man. I'm telling y'all, man, that guy is I'm telling you, he has like a lot of potential, man. And I know like it's gonna work. It's gonna work out for him. No doubt about that. And thank y'all so much for believing in this show. Shouts out to everybody here that's still here. I'm gonna go ahead and read Cool Sports. Thank you very much for the 1999. Says I start Jameis over Carr for the rest of the season. Even if Carr is healthy, at least Jameis brings excitement. The next season, I take Jim Harbaugh and Kirk Cousins. I ain't gonna lie, I don't see nothing wrong with the Jim Harbaugh thing. And Kirk Cousins, you're gonna win some football games with that, and he ain't gonna just go screw it up and stuff like that. Now, can you win a big one with Kirk Cousins? I don't know, but Kirk Cousins was on trajectory to have one of his best seasons. It's unfortunate that he ended up getting hurt. Let's see. Says this organization has no balls to fire anyone. Dennis Allen is incompetent, inept, and incapable of making his team better. With a different coach and all this talent, we are a better team. Tyra up in there good. Sounds like she writing a letterhead. Sounds like she writing a letterhead for a lawsuit. Dennis Allen is inept, incapable. Nah, that just made me laugh. But Tyra, thank you so much. Look, I think a lot of people agree with that. I really think so. I really think they have a lot of people that agree that this guy is incapable and inept. Let's see. TJ, man, forget that. Fire Dennis Allen, Pete Carmichael, the tight end coach, Willie Green, and David Ruffin. Throw Mickey Loomis in the mix. Hey, got David Ruffin in there. Say, let David Ruffin go. Let Dennis Edwards go. For real, let them all go, huh? Gonna be looking like the Temptations. Gonna have more X-Temptations than real Temptations. Piano Dean, thank you very much. Says, I'm going to design a new car jersey. Everything will be the same, but the name will say Corn Pop. Thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate that. I want to make sure that I give you all a score update. I put it down in the chat. Just want to make sure everybody knows what the score is. So the score right now with 5 minutes and 43 seconds left. The Arizona Cardinals are beating the Atlanta Falcons by a score of 22-17. So Arizona 22, AT fail 17. All right, but they do have the ball on their 26-yard line. So they got to cross the 50 in order for them to drive. But right now, the Atlanta Falcons, AT fail, are doing what they do best, and that is choke when the game is on the line and they need a game that matters. It's time to wait until the season is over so they can get released. The older players, please believe. I'm going to be honest with you. Today, the way A.T. Perry played, even though I know he missed some clutch catches down the stretch, I think this might be Michael Thomas last year in the Saints uniform. Like if the severity of the knee injury of Michael Thomas causes him to miss some games, and A.T. Perry can be able to go out there and provide a spark and some catches, even though if Derek Carr is the quarterback, he probably gonna be the Keith Kirkwood, just doing some blocking, probably ain't gonna get no catches. But if he goes out there and he puts his best foot forward and he starts making plays, I think it might be the end of Can't Guard Mike in New Orleans, man. When your coach is downing his players, that's a problem. He doesn't hold anyone accountable. He just passes blame. Well, I mean, that's just who he is. He was just trying to keep his job. He's just trying to do everything that he can to try to, in the words of Good Times, opening song, he's just trying to keep his head above water. Keeping your head above water, making a way if you can. Y'all know how it is, man. He's just trying to make a way if he can, man. He's just trying to do what he can to keep his head above water. And that's what Dennis Allen has done, and that's the way this team look. They just look like a team that's just trying to keep their head above water. But let's go ahead and read some of these stats so we can get up out of here, folks. Thank y'all so much. It's been a pretty long show, but I know a lot of people had a lot on their mind. Let's see. Jameis Winston, 13-25, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Derek Carr, 13 of 18, 110 yards, got sacked twice. No touchdowns, no picks. So I guess that's a good stat line for Derek Carr. I mean, I ain't throw no touchdown, but I ain't throw no picks either. Alvin Kamara, 9 carries for 42 yards. I wish I would have saw what type of game Alvin Kamara could have had if the Saints could have kind of did something and kept the team at bay. But yeah, Derek Carr, 1 run for 10 yards. Jamal Williams, who we definitely need to talk about. I don't know what the heck going on with that. Like Jamal Williams, I know he's better than what he's been playing as of late. 4 carries for 7 yards. Taysom Hill, 1 carry for 6 yards. Chris Olave, 9 targets, 6 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown. A.T. Perry, 2 catches, 38 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 7 catches for 33 yards. I guarantee the majority of them catches came from Derek Carr with the check down. Rashid Shaheed, 5 catches for 24 yards off 9 targets. Taysom Hill, 2 catches for 17 yards off 4 targets. Lynn Bowden, shout out to man, the whole time, Franklin, the linebacker from the Colts, talking about you don't never catch no pass, huh? Well, today he caught a pass. 1 catch for 12 yards on 1 target. Michael Thomas, 1 catch for 9 yards. Jamal Williams, 1 catch for 3 yards. So for a total of 2 weeks, unfortunately, Michael Thomas has 1 catch for 9 yards. Man, that dude is much better than that. Jamal Williams, 1 catch for 3 yards. Juwan Johnson, 1 catch for 2. Fumble, Derek Carr, but Cesar Reeves recovered it. Defensively, you have Demario Davis with 9 tackles, 6 solo, and a sack. 9 total tackles, 5 solo, and he also had a pass deflection. You have the Honey Badger out there. He had 8 tackles. Marcus May had 6 tackles. Pete Warner was out of position quite a bit. This is probably one of the worst games I've seen Pete Warner play this season, but he had 6 tackles, 3 solo. Alante Taylor, rough game for him, especially guarding TJ Hawkinson. 5 tackles. You had Malcolm Roach with 5. Marshawn Lattimore, who left the game with an ankle injury. Hopefully he's okay. 4 tackles. Carl Granderson had 4 tackles. Nate Shepard with 3. Cam Jordan with 2. Should have had a sack to his resume there. Colin Sanders with 2. Zach Bond with 2. Then you got Tano Passanio, Lonnie Johnson, DeMarco Jackson, Nephi Sewell, Chris Olave. that will show you it was an interception. A.T. Perry, Brian Brzee, and Kyle Phillips all had 1 tackle. So, I mean, we didn't look at this game from all different angles. We've pretty much posted blame on everybody. We posted blame on the defense. We posted blame on Derek Carr. Some posted blame on the defense. But what is really the blame for this loss? And my final thoughts, rest in peace, Jerry Springer. My final thoughts are simple. Reserve your expectations, Who Dat Nation. Reserve your expectations until you have something to look forward to. I'm going to say that again. Reserve your expectations until you have something to look forward to. There is nothing worse than being a kid looking out the window, thinking that somebody's going to show up to take them to Disneyland, and they never show up. And that's how you're going to feel every single week dealing with this New Orleans Saints team. It is an embarrassment to watch this team with so much untapped potential to be one of the best teams in the league, and they have an incompetent coach and a coaching staff that just cannot put them in the best position to succeed. Very little accountability. Very little answers to unanswered questions when it comes to this team. And every single loss, we have to watch a coach that is so passive, so uninspiring, so boring, like watching paint dry, with tears in his eyes, almost knows that he's in over his head, tell us everything that we need to know, and make excuses as if we are some of the dumbest individuals on the face of God's green earth. This is a sad football team. And this is a sad year for the New Orleans Saints, because every single thing that you need to happen, to work in your favor, is happening, and you can do absolutely nothing about it. And it is absolutely embarrassing. And once again, for all the Saints fans out there, I'm not saying don't watch the games. I'm not saying don't support the team. But what I'm saying is lower your expectations. Lower your expectations, because you're going to continue to get this mixed bag. You're going to get a week where the Saints look like they're the best team in the league. And then the next week, they're going to look like they don't even deserve to be in the same arena as their opponent. But all in all we can do is just hope that this coaching staff can at least get a few games where the Saints can win. Or, at the end of the season, when it's all said and done, Mickey Loomis does the right thing, get rid, and this regime did this aroma of Sean Payton and what yesteryear used to be, and embark on the future and take it serious. The not hiring somebody that was in the mailroom, not hiring somebody that somebody told you that was good, but really do your due diligence and bring in a coach that you know for a fact is capable of leading your football team to victory on a consistent basis. Because you don't want to wait till it's too late. Then you're going to have to start paying players. And then you're going to have to start making tough decisions about who you're going to keep and who you're going to let go. But the Saints are on a bye. Get an extra week. We get to, as fans, we get an extra week to talk about this and laugh about this and how bad this team has been and how they just continue to get in their own way. The next game is against the Atlanta Falcons. The New Orleans Saints try to get the victory over the Atlanta Falcons, who have a 1-point lead right now. They end up scoring a touchdown with 2 minutes left, 23-22. So it's 2nd and 2 on Arizona 33. So Arizona got the ball right now. So that game could make it even more interesting if Atlanta can pull off this victory today against the Arizona Cardinals. But this has been the State of the Saints podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. Please hit the like button if you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast and all of its content. Previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. And you can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at TJAY-Jones8. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.